Hello. Today I'm coming on your way to address a very pertinent issue that um, students or former students face, and it has to do with asking for either an employment reference or an academic reference from your former university or the school that you attended before. This is a major challenge for most graduates, people who have finished universities and they want to pursue further education, a master's degree. Academic reference, for example, it's a very independent way of helping universities to assess the quality, the behavior, the attitudes, and the suitability of applicants for programs that they have applied for. And often, a lot of universities will put a lot of weight on what your former lecturers or mentors or academic advisors write in their references about you. And in many cases, if you do not have an academic reference, there's no way that any university is going to offer you any admission. So academic referencing is an important element. I have seen most, and in the University of Ghana, when I was when I was head of department and also the dean, we have had to discuss this many times because it's both a concern for students and a concern for faculty. Faculty often complain that students come or former students come to ask for references, and they ask for the reference in one day. They come and ask for references of lecturers who didn't teach them. They come and ask for references, and they don't provide adequate information about themselves. In my case, I have a lot of students, because I am very active on social media. I have students send me messages on social media asking me to provide a reference for them. Some of them also, some of the former students also would apply for jobs, for example, or apply for admission and use your details because they probably have found it somewhere without actually informing you that they had nominated you as a referee. In many cases, we know the students by face because we taught some of them, but we don't remember the names because of the many number of students that we deal with. So usually I will receive a request from a university, a foreign university, with a name that I don't know. Sometimes I try to copy the name and to go on social media to try and see if I can find the face of this individual and to see whether I remember them and to be able to trace their history, to be able to know exactly what relationship I had with them and which will form a basis of me giving a reference. Sometimes this information is so difficult to find because a lot of our students also do not use their real names on social media. So you have Kweku Mensah. Kweku Mensah's social media ID or name is Sexy Bororo. How am I going to know that Sexy Bororo on social media is Kweku Mensah in real life? So sometimes it gets difficult. You are not able to provide reference. And the reason you won't do it or faculty will not do it is because it's a credibility issue. If I say I know Kweku Mensah, I should be able to say how I know Kweku Mensah. Did I teach him? What course did I teach him? What grades did he make? What was his behavior in class? What what was the performance that his contribution in class? What are other things he did apart from being a student? For example, did you serve as an executive? Were you in an association? Did you serve in any leadership role? Did you organize or lead some projects? What else did you do whilst you were in the university? Now, if I cannot give this because I don't know who you are and I don't remember you, then it's going to be very difficult for me to be able to provide you a reference. So this is what I ask that you do. Number one, whilst you are in school, make sure that at least 3 lecturers know you by name and by face. So if I meet you, I should be able to remember your name. Or if a call came through to me to say, I want to speak to you about Kweku Mensah, I should be able to remember who Kweku Mensah is and to be able to give a record. I remember how a young lady that had studied her master's degree in the business school, and I was also in the same church with her, so I knew her very well. Even though I didn't specifically teach her, I knew her very well. And then she applied for an international job and told me she was using me as a referee. And I said, yes, I'm okay. And so she sent me all her academic records and all of that. And then the reference that was requested was a telephone reference. So I got a call from South Africa. And the person mentioned the name of the lady and said, oh, I wanted to speak with you because this lady had nominated you as a referee. And I knew her background, I knew her performance, I knew her behavior. So I was able to give the oral reference on phone. And a day after, the lady contacted me and said, thank you, Prof. The reference you did for me, I've got the job. So I want to give clear guidance on what you do to ask for a reference, and that would enhance your chances of getting a good reference. So number one, make sure that whilst you are still in school, 2 or 3 lecturers know you by name and by face. And these are lecturers who have taught you throughout your school session. Let them know you. How do you let lecturers know you? By answering questions in class, by asking questions in class, by submitting your assignments, by emailing them, by saying hi to them when you engage them, and all of that. And if you need advice, by going to their offices to ensure that they can remember your name and they can remember your face. And often the students that I know best are students who answer questions in my class, who are positively notorious in my classes. So you ask questions, you challenge me, you bring out new ideas, you are critiquing the things that we are discussing in class. It makes you very, very well known to me, and I know your name and I know your face. That's the first thing. Number 2, if you haven't done that already and you have finished school already, please go back to the lecturers who taught you and find a way to reach out to them. Today you can reach out to people on social media, on WhatsApp, on email, and all of that. First thing, remind them of what they taught you, when they taught you, the grades you made in their class, how they could remember you. For example, I was the guy who used to sit right in front and always had maybe this type of shirt or ask this type of questions in class and stuff like that, and send your photo to them so that they can connect with you. If you do that, it makes it easy for anybody to be able to give reference. Number 3, when you have to request for a reference, make sure that at all times you remind the person who you are going to make your referee. Remind them, because as I say, we handle hundreds of students and we forget the students, the names and all of that. So remind the person, dear Professor Bawole, this is my name. I was like this. I'm applying for a school in the UK, and I require that you become my referee. Are you happy to serve as my referee? Please find attached my transcript and my CV. Okay. Then, if this person responds, then you can go ahead and use their name as your referee. Always make sure that in the course of providing the information, you provide other things that you did when you were on campus. Because a lot of universities abroad are not actually looking for just your grades, but they are looking for what also you did whilst you were a student. So I was Spencer president, I was Sabah Hall JCR president, I was group leader for X or Y activity and all of that. I organized students to do this or to do that and all of that. These are the kinds of information that if you provide it allows the lecturer to be able to do a reference for you. Just 2 days ago, I got a message on Messenger. This gentleman sent me a message to say, Prof, I want you to provide a reference for me for an opportunity. I don't know you. I tried to check his profile on Facebook. His profile is locked. I can't see the face. I can't see. I don't know the name. I haven't I don't know when I encountered him before. So I felt so bad. So I sent him a message and said, look, you asked me to do this for you, but I can't even check your profile. You didn't send me when you know me. Did I teach you? What course did I teach you? That kind of stuff. It's very frustrating. And sometimes a lot of you actually insult us lecturers because you think that we don't want to support you. I, for example, in a year, I usually will provide over 200, 300, in some cases, 500 references in a year. For some people, one person, you can provide as many as 10 references because they are applying to multiple schools. So it's also a pain for us. We spend a lot of time doing this, but we have to do it because it's our job. But if we have to do it, you have to help us to do it well. So please follow this protocol that I've told you and make sure that your lecturer is able to write something nice about you and all. It's the same thing for a job. If you were very absent in my class, you didn't attend lectures, you were not, inquisitive in my class, and you're asking me to write about you to somebody who wants to employ you, it's going to be difficult. If you were somebody who was caught cheating in an exam, and you're asking me to write a reference for you to get a job somewhere, I would be scared. I wouldn't do that. I won't put my reputation on the ground. So please note that we have reputations also to protect, and we cannot go ahead telling people who you are, lying about who you actually are, when in fact it is not the truth. If you do what I have recommended, you will do well, and your recommendations will be great. You can get great jobs, you can get scholarships abroad, you can get universities abroad. Thank you very much, and do that. Please, if you need me to particularly respond to something, you can do that. Follow all my social media handles, J and Bawole, and you can get more. Thank you so much.